I don't think you have to promise them $100,000. That sounds really good on an ad, but it doesn't. But in real life, that's like real money. Also, I think the events, maybe smaller scale events, like maybe some stuff in some regional events or something in smaller complexes, and we're going to charge as much money. A smaller staff would have helped, right? Smaller staff, lower paid. Like, look, hey, we'll get maybe you give them shares of stock, you give them equity. This is what a lot of small businesses do in the beginning. They bootstrap and they give equity instead of actually promising money. When I first started my business, I literally didn't have the money that I needed to do what I wanted to do. So I would make IOUs or do trades and barters with people, or I would say, hey, look, I know what you're worth. I can't pay you that, but this is how much I can guarantee. And then the rest we can put on the tab. And because you know me and you know I'm going to follow through, you know I pay back everyone I owe money to, then you'll know that you have this IOU. And as soon as I'm good, I promise I'm going to take care of you. That's the kind of stuff you sometimes have to do. That's what keeps your business alive, and that's what keeps you moving forward without things falling apart. I think diversified revenue streams. I would literally, I don't know if they have this person, but I would say all of you, if you start a business, I would encourage them to have like just literally like a chief monetization officer. Like I talked to a friend of mine who's a rapper, and or not, actually I said this to my friend who was a rapper and another friend who ran an organization. I said, in your organization, in my view, I would get like a chief monetization officer where their only job is to sit around and figure out ways for you to make money from your business in ethical ways. Like, what are the different things? Like, what do our customers want? What else can we give to them? What else can we sell? How else can we get money? Because I think that with this league, it seemed like they were heavily dependent on this one investor. And one of the rules of investing, one of the most critical rules of investing is diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You don't want to ever, and this is true for all of y'all, especially y'all that are raised in the job culture. We are raised in a culture where we're supposed to put our whole economic livelihood in the hands of one employer. That is very, very dangerous. We think that we use the term like job security. Stop using that term because one job is never going to give you security. One stream of income is not secure. You need multiple streams of income. Maybe if me and my wife both have job security, then that's more secure. And then we have a side hustle, and then we have investments, and then we have savings, and we have a plan B. We have some home equity. You want to have all kinds of things to give you security. So I would say I'd be curious to know how diversified their revenue streams are. It seems like they depended on sponsorships, this investor, and ticket sales. And my question would be, what else could be done that would monetize this better so the one person backing out doesn't mess everything up? One monkey stopping the show is not appropriate. You don't need King Kong in the show. You need a bunch of monkeys, not a King Kong that can come in and kill everything. Also, I would say expansion, I think could be done in phases, right? So year one, we start off with this, maybe we have one big meet or two or something or whatever. And then year two, we grow into something else. And because in the beginning of a business, you're always testing things, right? You don't know what's going to really work. I can't tell you how many times I have seen great ideas that absolutely flopped when you put them out there. They required an infinite number of pivots before you could even get to the point of profitability. And so sometimes if you get the big investor in the very beginning, that can be the worst thing that ever happened to you. Worst thing that ever happened to you. In fact, there's a whole theory in finance where thousands of research papers have been written on this, and it's called the free cash flow problem. The free cash flow problem says that sometimes if you have too much money sitting around and you have a big fat check that was written to you, you making it rain on everybody.